Thank you,
What
sir.
the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing?
Postmaster General and Trump donor Louis DeJoy faced a Democratic House Oversight Committee today and got completely wrecked. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of clips here. But first, before I get to that, in case you really don't know what's going on, let me give you a quick summary here of what is happening right now with the post office and Trump's attempts to undermine this election by impacting mail-in balloting. So this from The Verge. DeJoy has faced broad criticism for his management of the post office since his appointment in May. Numerous reports of slower mail delivery have led to accusations that the Trump administration is trying to sabotage the post office deliberately, possibly to disrupt the presidential election, which of course he is. Trump admitted that himself on Fox Business. On August 7th, DeJoy reduced overtime for postal employees, implemented a hiring freeze, and announced plans to reassign 24 postal executives. More recently, a report from Vice on Thursday found that postal sorting machines were being deactivated at mail sorting facilities around the country. So all this is happening while DeJoy is in charge and leading it. So before I get to some of these clips here, Public Citizen tweeted out, as Senate Republicans flat out refused to provide $25 billion to save the Postal Service, remember that these same Republicans unanimously passed a $740 billion Pentagon bill just last month. Also, today is a good day to remind you that Postmaster General Louis DeJoy has up to $75 million invested in companies that compete with the U.S. Postal Service. So, without any further delay, let me start here with Rashida Tlaib, who questioned Postmaster DeJoy and recommended what he should do.
As a lawyer, Mr. DeJoy, I believe that is incredibly important that all the citizens, especially public servants leading major federal agencies, are fully aware of and understand fully the law. Do you agree, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Then as an educational exercise and to ensure everyone here is clear on the law, I'd like to start by paraphrasing 18 U.S. Code Clause 1701, which says, whoever knowingly and willfully obstructs the passage of mail shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 6 months or both. I recommend that you and your lawyers familiarize yourself with this passage in particular, but as well as 18 U.S. Code Clauses 595 and 610. So, Mr. DeJoy, let's look at how you came to work for the impeached president. Before this role, you have never worked in the federal government as a public servant, correct?
That's correct.
So clearly you were not hired for your experience or deep understanding of the federal government. So let's see what experience you do have, your resume, so to speak. Before becoming the Postmaster General, you were for a time a Deputy National Fundraising Chairman for the GOP. And since 2016, you've donated approximately $1.2 million to this impeached president's campaign and groups that support him. On June 24th, 2020, you bought between $50,000 and $100,000 in what you refer to as, quote, covered calls in the Amazon Corporation. But let's be very clear, Mr. DeJoy, no matter what financial maneuvering you perform to try to hide it, the fact is that you have financial interest in Amazon. I like to remind you that unlike in the private sector, Mr. DeJoy, where you served your own self-interest, your job as Postmaster General is not to serve your own profit schemes on the taxpayer's dime. You are to serve the United States Postal Service, its workers, and the American people. This impeached president, Mr. DeJoy, you have to realize has a track record of employing crooks who end up in a lot of trouble for their illegal activities, Mr. DeJoy. Rick Gates, Paul Manafort, Mike Flynn, Michael Cohen, Roger Stone, Steve Bannon. With all due respect, you are not in good company right now. So do the right thing and resign. And I thank the Madam Chair for bringing this to our attention.
All right, so that was pretty good. If you want to watch the full 5 minutes, I will link to it below the video so you can watch it yourself. But Rashida Tlaib there laying out many issues with Louis DeJoy being in charge of the U.S. Postal Service. But this clip is even better. Now, I will say, right now, Stephen Lynch here is is facing a primary challenge in Massachusetts. So this may be the reason why he is so vocal here, so active right now, and I have to assume attempting to gain some headlines in this process as he is facing a challenger from the left. But with that said, this is a very satisfying moment to watch.
After 240 years of patriotic service delivering the mail, how can one person screw this up in just a few weeks? Now, I understand you bring private sector expertise. I guess we couldn't find a government worker who could screw it up this fast. It would take them a while. The president is running this post office like a business, like he said. He's running it into the ground, as he has declared bankruptcy a few times on his own businesses. In an effort to apply the facts, the real facts, not the alternative facts, based on what you have actually done, one can only reach, as a fact finder, we can only reach two conclusions. One, either through gross incompetence, you have ended the 240-year history of delivering the mail reliably on time, or the second conclusion that we could gather is that you're doing this on purpose and that you're deliberately dismantling this once proud tradition.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman may answer his question.
My last question is this.
Thank you,
What
sir.
the heck are you doing? What the heck are
The
you doing?
gentleman's time has
That's my
expired.
Thank you, sir.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman
First of
may
all,
answer.
I would like to agree with you on the heroic efforts of our 650,000 employees across the nation, and the history of the Postal Service for their the 250-year history of serving the American public. And I'm very
Will you put
proud-
the machines back?
I'm very proud to lead the organization. The rest of your accusations are actually
Will you put the
outrageous.
high-speed machines
No,
back?
I will not.
You will not.
Will not.
You will not. Well, there you go.
There I go. What?
There
Those
will-
machines,
Madam
those
Chair,
machines have been
let the
coming
witness
out.
answer the question, and
32,000
he has gone over
mail
time.
Order.
There you go. That was fantastic. He got Louis DeJoy to just admit that he's not going to put the machines back that he took away. Great moment there. Really hitting him hard. This is one of the benefits of a primary challenge. It actually causes many of these politicians to do their job. Now, look, I don't know Stephen Lynch's entire history. Maybe he's okay sometimes. But I got to think, facing a primary challenge in a couple of weeks, this lit a fire under him, and he did a great job here. Now, in terms of what the general public could do, I saw this online. So this is from the Action Network, actionnetwork.org. I will link to this below the video. Save the Postal Service, August 25th, Day of Action. So I guess you go here, put your zip code in, and find an event near you. But they say here on Tuesday, August 25th, thousands of people will take action across America with one clear message: save the post office. Find an event to attend near you by searching the zip code to the right. If you don't see an event nearby, you can sign up to host one. And so this is the movement for public postal service is demanding that elected officials and Postmaster General DeJoy provide at least $25 billion in immediate support for the Postal Service, stop and reverse the mail slowdown policies introduced by Postmaster General DeJoy. So there you go. I always like when there is something that the general public can do, when viewers have somewhere to put their energy. So if you want something to do and to really help and raise awareness about this, here you go. I'll link to this below the video. Check it out. But again, this is the only hope that Donald Trump has. The only chance he has here is to undermine the election by ensuring that mail-in ballots are an issue. Now, I will say, though, with the caveat there, polling is getting a little tighter between Biden and Trump. So there is a lot that Biden could be doing to try and reach out to typical non-voters by, I don't know, maybe supporting Medicare for All that has a majority of support in the country, maybe backing a wealth tax that has a majority of support in the country, a whole number, maybe supporting marijuana legalization that has a majority of support in the country, a whole number of things Biden could be doing to reach out to more voters. But in lieu of that, what Trump is trying to do here for him to win the election is attempting to destroy the post office as a way to affect mail-in balloting, and which typically more Democratic voters vote through mail-in balloting. So yes, it still will, I assume, impact Republicans as well, but more Democrats are likely to vote through mail-in balloting than Republicans. So greater chance here it'll affect Democrats, but we're going to have to wait and see and understand the kind of threat right now that Donald Trump poses.